Yeah, can you just first talk about what you liked from the team? Yeah, just start there.
I mean, the two things I liked from the team obviously was like our fight and our grit in the first half and the grind. It was a grinding type game. And all it is that's, Colorado State's tough. Colorado State's physical. Colorado State's got, a maturity to them just in terms of whether that is age, whether it is just that sort of toughness. And, you could say the same thing about Boise State. You say the same thing about almost every team in the league, but definitely the top teams in the league. And they're just tough, and they're physical, and they do it the whole game. They do it the whole 40. Number 15, Jalen Lake, he defends for 40 minutes. Nick Clifford is a really good player, but he plays his tail off for 40 minutes on both ends of the court. That give them credit, and they're able to, the grind of the game. They do it. That's why they're 13-4 in the Mountain West. I liked our grind of the game in the first half. We played well. And even saying that, as I say that, the second thing I liked about the game was Caleb Walker. We've been working really hard with Caleb Walker. We've been working with him on his individual skills, on his individual game. We've been working with Caleb Walker on his confidence in his individual skills and his individual game. We're going to keep doing that. And there's something there. I see the response, which is good to see. Those are the two things I like. After that, the turnovers are killers. And that's all. Before the game, number one key, take care of the ball. Halftime, that's the whole game, guys. The whole game is just taking care of the ball. That's the whole game, because if we take care of the ball in this second half, we will stop any run. We will stop their momentum, any momentum they get. We will have good things happen at both ends of the court. And when you turn the ball over, right, you have bad things happening on both ends of the court. And you can't do that against a team that's tough, physical, well-coached, right? And you just can't do it. And that was the second half.
Yeah, for sure. And the team's been seeing a lot of different lineups and trying out a lot of different players and stuff. Can you talk about what that's done for the team, especially this late in the season?
Well, I mean, we've been forced into, I'm not forced. I mean, in some respects, I'm actually glad. I'm not glad that Kyle Marshall got sick and was out for whatever, and we had practice again yesterday, and he's nowhere near 100%. It's not even close. And I said to Jim Arthur before the game, you can't play against Colorado State if you're not 100% mentally and physically. That's a disservice to a kid. Now, it's given an opportunity to put Chase Beasley in there, and, given the circumstances, he's done a pretty good job. I mean, he's done a pretty good job in the two games. So is that a different lineup? I don't know. It is. It'd be nice to get Kyle Marshall back 100% physically and mentally. I don't know if that's going to happen at this time of the year. This is a grind. This is a college basketball season. He's a, young kid. It's like it's a grind. But I know you got to be 100% mentally and physically to compete in this league, for 40 minutes. So, Will Cooper, we talked about, he's doing okay. These are all great experiences for him. And like I've said to the team the other day, looking for another guy who wants to sort of poke his head out and say, you know what, Coach, I'm going to sort of be that kind of guy too. And so we'll see what happens here. But, I was glad with Caleb. That center position, Bo will still get in there. We got to get the best play we can get from those three guys. And then no matter what, like I said to the guys after the game, we got a game on Saturday. Guess what the game plan is? Take care of the ball. That's the game plan. If we do that, and we can do that well, we'll play well. Because we play well when we take care of the ball. I mean, it's a simple formula. Simple doesn't mean easy, because they're tough. They're physical. They compete really hard. Like I said, give them tons of credit.
Yeah, and speaking of Chase, he's gone from 0 points to playing over 20 minutes. Can you talk about what that adjustment has been like for him?
Well, I mean, I know it's been hard. I give him tons of credit. It's what I said to the team. Obviously you're going to find some down times in his time because he hasn't been playing all year, and that's where again we need another guy to step up like Will Cooper, because then okay, hey Chase, you can give us whatever those minutes are. But I know at this juncture to say you go from 0 to starting in 26 minutes, that's a tall task given the team we're playing, given that what we're facing. So he gets credit for that, and he gets tons of credit. He needs to get the guys on the team to like really understand and get behind him with that. And the best way to do that would be to have another guy sort of step up and say, hey, coach, I'm going to be like that. Now not say it in words, right? Go do it. Do it in practice every day. Show me how hard you work. Show us how hard show us how focused you are, how intense you are. Because that would go a long way towards helping Chase Beasley and obviously Ethan Taylor and Jeff Mills. The centers sort of have like a good thing there where they help each other out, those three guys. That goes a long way. We need some of the more of that, at the perimeter positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the second half, you mentioned turnovers. What is that really the only thing, or was there just a couple of things that kind of?
It's just turnovers because it just leads to all good things for the other team. And there were, unforced turnovers, and turnovers to the extent of unforced, whether that's walk, whether that's another walk, whether that's an errant pass, and then whether it's the ball is being thrown to you. And this is like the competitive level of the game, the physical nature of it. The ball's being thrown to you. That means it's loose. You got to catch it. You got to get it. You got to beat your guy to the ball. And they beat us to the ball in those situations. And that's, again, that sort of, toughness factor. It's like that's the game, and especially for us. Somebody else who might have a guy who can go out and get you 24 or whatever, you just give it to them and they can go. Maybe they can withstand the turnovers a little bit. That's got to be a staple of ours no matter what. That, we're not giving you the ball. You're going to have to beat us, and you're not going to get the ball from us. And we're going to continue to work on it. And, we just got to be able to develop that kind of toughness, that kind of sort of mental and physical toughness.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ethan and I guess Jeffrey as well, they've kind of been the consistent players throughout the season. I guess what do you tell them in terms of when you're putting in new players and stuff? How do you think that they've been able to handle
I think,
that?
and again, like the grand scheme of things is Jeff and Ethan have done tons. And, that's what I'm saying. Like at this juncture, the guys, that's where you go through the year and we do skill work. Who's coming along? Because guys like Jeff and Ethan, they need somebody to come along and help the team. You know what I mean? And that's just sort of the lifeblood of a team a little bit as you go through a college basketball season. You get this another guy that comes through and he starts to help, and then another guy comes and he starts to help, and then what you see is, well, those guys who've been doing it all year is they might be having like a little, flatlining, because that happens. Well, those guys who come in and are like that, they bring like a certain energy to those guys that gets them, and that's what this young team we have has to learn. That's the nature of a team. That's how the young guys help the older guys, and the older guys help the younger guys grow up and get to that point. And, like we said, that's youth. That's immaturity, like the understanding of that. Ethan and Jeff, they need, and our two centers need, right, guys to understand that, come to work every day, work so hard, improve so much, if you work that hard to help their teammates, and then the young guys are helping the older guys help them. That's a team, and Will Cooper's doing that right now. We need some other guys here, in late February to sort of say, I'm going to do it, because you can be amazed if you go work every day at practice and you have that attitude, you can do it. You can do it, but it requires that type of sort of approach, and I'd like to think that team element, that helping of your teammate would be the thing that like inspired you to become like that. Like, you don't want to help Ethan Taylor at this juncture. You don't want to help, I think that would inspire you to be that way. And usually when you have that, all of a sudden a guy does come along. And we'll see if we can get something like that here down the stretch.
So I know the game kind of got away from you guys in the second half, but can you talk about that first half and what went well for you guys?
First half, we were able to just play defense. We were to turn the ball over, which we didn't want to do, but we were just able to play defense and, kind of hold them the shots that they didn't want to take. I think that was beneficial for us, as well as, we were making some shots down the stretch, especially in those crucial moments when, they tie it up and we get a lead, or they get a lead and we tie it up. Shots in those moments make the difference. In the second half, we just didn't make those shots and we turned the ball over.
And what was challenging about containing this CSU team?
They're just consistent. They play the same way the whole game, and we got they adjusted. They do a great job adjusting, and we didn't do our part in battling back against those adjustments. We kind of let the game get to us, with turnovers and stuff like that. So we got to do a better job of not turning the ball over and staying consistent throughout the game. When the other team makes adjustments, we got to adjust as well.
Yeah, for sure. And the team has seen a lot of lineup changes and a lot of just new players continuing to come in and out. How has that been for you, just continually having to adjust to that, being one of the consistent players?
We have to have confidence in every guy on the team just because of those reasons. The guys that have started to play now who maybe didn't play in the past have done a great job of adjusting and, getting into the swing of things and playing the best. So, it hasn't really affected me much just because I got confidence and faith in everyone on the team to be able to get in the game and play the way we need them to play.
Yeah, and I guess can you talk about the purpose and what these shifting lineups does for the team?
I think it shows guys who maybe count themselves out, but just because it's late in the season, I think it gives those guys hope. Chase is a senior and he's doing it, but next year they're not going to have any seniors, and guys are going to be able to develop all year. So it kind of gives the guys hope and that mentality that if I just work every day and work in practice, and you get your shot, and then when you get your shot, if you capitalize on that, then that's what makes coach put you in the game.
Yeah. Do you think the team kind of had a different mindset coming into this game after your win?
I wouldn't say different mindset. Obviously the win was great, but we knew today it was going to be a tough game. They're a top team in our conference, top team in NCAA, so we knew that tonight would be a hard game, and we just had the mentality that we got to do our best and stop them from doing what they want to do. We got to disrupt their guys and make them take shots they didn't want to take, and also not turn the ball over. That was our mindset coming into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you think was the biggest change between the last time you played them and today?
I would say the biggest change from last time we played them, was just the arena. The second half, same thing happened at their place. We started turning the ball over, missing crucial shots. Here, we turn the ball over, miss crucial shots. It's the same game, and we just got to do better at that. Obviously their coaching staff has something in place to try to disrupt us, and we have to do a better job of overcoming those things.